Yo, what is going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the abilities for the brand new character coming to the game in August, Spider-Man 2099. So Spider-Man is my favorite character in like everything, like any kind of media of all time, like DC, Marvel, Star Wars, anything. Spider-Man's always been my favorite character. I love him so much. Spider-Man 2099, though, I don't know a ton about. I've know a lot about Peter Parker's Spider-Man, not about Miguel O'Hara, which is the one we're getting, but it is very interesting. He was teased at the end of the Spider-Verse movie. I didn't think we were going to see him in MCOC until the second one came out, but we're getting him now, so it's pretty interesting. He is a science character, so let's go ahead and jump in and start talking about his abilities. So there's a lot to go over here. Always active. So Spider-Man 2099 cannot gain buffs. So he has the same utility as Red Guardian in that fact that he cannot gain any buffs, which when you first think about it, it's like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And it's both. I think it's more of a good thing than a bad thing because it lets you counter a lot of different nodes like Spite, like Pilfer. There's and just anywhere where you'd get punished for having buffs, like Summer of Pain, where we had Symbiote Supreme with all the buffs. Spider-Man 29 would be good there because there's no buffs for him to gain, so he can never be nullified. So it is a very strong piece of utility, but there is some areas where you do want to gain buffs, but it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. So whenever he would gain a buff, he instead pauses his personal debuffs for 5 seconds. So that's cool. So anytime you want to pause your debuffs, all you have to do is Dex, essentially, but you don't trigger the Dex buff. Instead, you would just pause your debuffs. So while dodging backwards, Spider-Man 2099 is not struck by attacks. Dodging an attack this way triggers his debuff pausing ability. So he kind of has like a built-in Dex. It sounds like somebody like Nightcrawler and Invisible Woman. So gains 75% damage resistance if the opponent is under the effect of True Strike or if the final hit deals true damage. So that's interesting. Developer note, any buff from any source will trigger his debuff pausing ability. So Rupture, 20 stacks. So light and medium attacks have a 25% chance to inflict Rupture, dealing 500 physical damage over 10 seconds. 100% chance to inflict Rupture on a block if the opponent is suffering from a Wither debuff. So Wither is a brand new debuff added to the game, unique to Spider-Man 2099. So an opponent takes a burst of 780 physical damage for each Rupture on them if they reach 0 power or when they gain a bar of power. Ruptures are consumed after this effect takes place. So developer note here, striking into the block of an opponent suffering from the Wither debuff is the most reliable way to inflict lots of Rupture. And we got a Kabam Mike note here as well. This is the first time we've ever seen the Wither debuff as part of a champion's kit. It reduces ability power rate, and Spider-Man 2099 has got a very strong one. So that's cool new effect. And heavy attack, inflict an exhaustion debuff, decreasing critical damage rating by 64.95 for 15 seconds, max 5 stacks. Next up, we have resistance up, max 100 stacks. When attacked, there's a 100% chance to gain an indefinite resistance up passive, increasing physical resistance by 87.5 and energy resistance by 56. Interrupting Spider-Man 29 while he is running a heavy attack removes all resistance up stacks. If at least 20 stacks are removed this way, he inflicts a Wither debuff, reducing ability power rate by 150% for 20 seconds. When Spider-Man 2099 pauses his personal debuffs, he consumes 5 stacks of resistance up and increases the pause duration by 5 seconds. This effect has a 10-second cooldown. So this is how you trigger the Wither. It's kind of interesting there. The developer note here, as an attacker, resistance up is better to use as a resource that helps to increase the duration of the debuff pauses. It's usually not worth saving it for its defensive value, which totally does make sense. So special attack 1, we have Raging Claws. Last 3 hits have a 100% chance to inflict physical vulnerability debuff, decreasing physical resistance by 233 for 15 seconds, max 15 stacks of that. On activation, gain 15 stacks of resistance up passive, increasing physical resistance and energy resistance. Note, this special provides enough stacks of resistance up for Spider-Man 2099 to extend his debuffs for up to a total of 30 seconds. More than enough time to reach a special 2 with that many pause debuffs. Now we have the special 2, maximum pressure. On activation, inflict a Wither debuff. So here's a quick way to inflict that Wither, reducing ability power rate by 150% for 15 seconds, max 5 stacks. And each hit deals a burst of 900 physical damage per unique debuff on the opponent. So if you have a lot of debuffs, man, you can get some big damage off this special 2 potentially. So special 2 is the biggest source of damage for Spider-Man 2099, provided that the opponent is suffering from lots of debuffs. This attack also inflicts a Wither debuff, which allows Spider-Man 2099 to inflict Rupture through blocks, increasing his damage even further. Sounds like some serious potential there. Then we have the special attack 3 called Spider Venom. Inflict a stun debuff for 4 seconds. That's a pretty long stun. Inflict a slow debuff lasting 25 seconds, reducing unstoppable and evadability actually by 100%, preventing the effects of unstoppable. Slow won't trigger against natural class advantage. Slow counts as 4 unique debuffs. So towards the special 2, that's 4 unique debuffs with the slow. And yeah, this won't work against skill champions, of course. And then we got a developer note here. The special 3 is not required for his ideal gameplay loop, but in a long fight, a skilled player can use this debuff pausing ability to bring slow all the way back to special 2, where it would count as 4 unique debuffs and thus doubling the potential damage for special 2. So this slow, it doesn't sound like insanely long, like 25 seconds, but because you're able to pause his debuffs, this should be, like, he should be a pretty powerful slow champion. The only downside is, you need to get to the special 3 first to unlock the slow, but you should be able to keep up 100% uptime on that slow if that's your goal. If you're not focused on using special 2s for damage, you just go cycling special 3s, then yeah, you should totally be able to keep pausing it and keep reaching that special 3 to keep that slow up. I'm not saying that's like, it depends on the matchup. If you'd want to do that, you probably want to go for special 2s though for the big damage. But I like slow. I like a character that has slow. So now we have a signature ability called Persistent Ruptures. So Ruptures have 80% chance to not be consumed when a burst of physical damage triggers, which again was when the opponent had, I think it was 0 power, or when they cross a power bar threshold. So an 80% chance, that's probably 80% at a SIG 200 for that. Not sure what it's going to be at lower SIGs. And then the next bullet point here in the signature ability is plus 25% combat power rate while the opponent is affected by a Wither debuff. So that's cool. More power, combative power rate, and get to that special 2s quicker to do more damage, or special 3 to get the slow. And we got a developer note here: against a champion that has power gain, Spider-Man 2099 can invert their power gain with Wither. Hit them until they gain a bar of power. Let the reverse power gain bring their power down, then hit them back to a bar of power. This would allow you to trigger a lot more bursts of damage with Ruptures than it would normally be possible. So that's an interesting play style there that you could maybe do. And if you're awakened, I mean, you have a chance for those Ruptures to stay, so you can just keep doing that. Sounds potentially quite interesting. And yeah, that's his entire kit. It's nothing like super crazy. There's not a whole lot of text in his kit. I think the most confusing part is this whole resistance up thing. So let's go over that one more time. So interrupting Spider-Man 29 is charging a heavy attack, removes all resistant up stacks, and he inflicts a Wither debuff. If at least 20 stacks removed this way, he inflicts a Wither debuff. Yeah, I don't think that would be useful on offense, because interrupting Spider-Man 29 is charging a heavy attack, that would mean like getting hit. So yeah, I think the main way to get the Wither is through the special 2. That just instantly triggers the Wither. So it's going to be the main way you get it up. That resistance up sounds more like defensive stuff. But yeah, that's it for his actual abilities. Now we have some synergies to talk about. So we have Spider-Verse veterans with OG Spidey, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, and Miles Morales. So Spider-Man 2099 gain 100% chance to evade the first time he is struck in a fight. That's a pretty good synergy. That's just like a safety net, an evade safety net. Not bad. I like that. It's kind of like the evade charges Nick Fury gives, but it's only one, but it's like fully 100% guaranteed. It's pretty solid, actually. I like that synergy. I just wouldn't like having to bring the other Spider characters along. Maybe Spider-Ham wouldn't be. And well, if Miles gets buffed, maybe he'll be really good. But here we have, so Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham, and Miles gain an unstoppable passive for 1 second. After an evade triggers, this effect has a 9-second cooldown. So that's interesting. Doesn't sound super useful. I don't know. Maybe it could be. Then we have symbiote problems with Venom and Carnage. So Spider-Man 2099 special attack 3 inflicts a poison debuff, dealing 85% of attack and direct damage and reducing health recovery by 30%. It's interesting. You can make him deal poison. Venom here on a heavy attack gain an aptitude buff, increasing the effective fury, armor, and precision buffs by 50% for 10 seconds. This effect has a 10-second cooldown. That sounds awesome. What you could easily do is, when you're playing Venom, you build up all your buffs naturally over time. And then when you use a special 2, you convert them all to Furies. So what you could do is wait, use a heavy attack, boom, get the aptitude, then drop the special 2, convert all your buffs into Furies. All those Fury buffs are going to be better now because of the aptitude. And then you could drop a pretty fat special 2. Sounds interesting. It's a pretty good synergy for Venom. And Carnage here, unblockable specials gain 25% increased attack rating. Which is cool. I think Carnage goes unblockable when the opponent is bleeding, or if they have an armor break, if they're bleed immune. So it's cool. Just some more attack rating. And then here we have AI enthusiasts with Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, Iron Man, and Scarlet Witch Classic. So Spider-Man 2099 second medium attacks have a 25% chance to trigger Spider-Man 2099's debuff pausing ability. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced on time blocks. 33% chance to gain a bulwark passive, granting 700 block proficiency for 10 seconds. That's pretty good for Stark Spidey Man. His block proficiency is pretty bad, so that's nice. That helps. We've got Scarlet Witch Classic here. When granting a buff on herself, gain 15% of a bar of power over 3 seconds. And then Iron Man here, heavy attacks inflict a power drain, removing 50% of the opponent's current power over 5 seconds. This effect has a 20-second cooldown. So I think that's OG Iron Man, which that sounds like a pretty good synergy. The only problem is OG Iron Man sucks. So maybe if he gets buffed, this could be pretty good one day. Then we got coworkers with Sabretooth and Psylocke. Let's zoom in here a little bit more so we can scroll up. Let's go like that. So Sabretooth and Psylocke and Longshot. So Spider-Man 2099 gains 85 critical rating per unique debuff on the opponent. That's actually pretty good because you can gain a lot of critical rating when you have a ton of those rupture debuffs on the opponent. So that's a good synergy for him. Sabretooth blocking an attack has a 10% chance to grant a regeneration passive that heals 25% of the damage taken from the block over 25 seconds. That is interesting, but only at 10%. Attack has 10% to grant. Yeah, that doesn't sound the greatest. It's kind of like silly synergy. I don't know about that one. Longshot. When Longshot nullifies a regeneration buff, gain a regeneration buff, healing 5% of base health over 10 seconds. That one sounds really good. That sounds like a pretty sick synergy. And then with Psylocke here, we have attacking an opponent with 0 power reduces their defensive ability accuracy by 50%. That's interesting. And then here we have developer note. Sabretooth's signature ability increases the ability accuracy of this synergy. I'm not sure what Sabretooth's ability accuracy is in his signature ability, but okay, that helps because when I first heard that synergy, that seemed extremely underwhelming. So okay, maybe that's why it's so underwhelming, because his signature ability will make it a lot more reliable. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for this guy. Like I said, I love Spider-Man, so yeah, very excited to have another one coming into the game. He seems pretty cool. Definitely a unique set of abilities with his whole ruptures and withers. It has potential. It's hard to know, like reading his abilities, how to predict how good he's going to be, just because it's something I'm not really used to. Like, these abilities seem very new, and like I really need to play them myself to know how good he's going to be. But I'm pretty excited. Yeah, he's science too, which is great. Science class usually gets the spider people. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Let me know what you guys think of Spider-Man 2099. If you guys enjoyed the breakdown, I would appreciate you dropping a like on the video, share with your alliance mates. He is coming out in August. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Peace out.